Hello, Marvelites! You're watching Marvel's The Pull List, and I'm Ryan, aka Agent M.
And I'm Tucker Marcus.
And every week we read all the new Marvel comics that come out, and then we pick a couple of them, we pick a topic, and we tell you why we're so hyped. Tucker, what's going on this week?
This week it's huge debuts. Huge debuts. Yeah, that's right. We have picked 4 issues where we talk about some really big new things coming to the Marvel Universe. Really exciting stuff. We're starting with maybe the biggest issue of the year? I don't know, it's possible. This is House of X #1. When Ryan and I saw each other for the first time today, we just said, oh, wow, it surpassed all the hype. It is incredible. Basically, this truly is the next big era of the X-Men. You can feel it on every single page. There's some incredible graphic design happening here that's woven into the story in a really unexpected, gorgeous way. It just all feels monumental. It all feels exactly what it is, which is just a threshold moments for, this group of characters. It's all incredible. I cannot say enough about it, but unfortunately I can't say anything right here. Yeah.
We can't talk about the story, the plot, because we want you guys to go in fresh. Just know they nailed it. Yeah. They crushed it. They came in. They swung big. 14 grand slams in one hit. That's how you do it. Baseball.
Oh yeah.
So that is House of X, but then another one of my favorite books is History of the Marvel Universe #1. This is a huge one. So it's a really cool idea. It goes back to the beginnings of time with Galactus, because Galactus came from the universe before ours. The Big Bang he went right through, turned in from what he was, which is basically a science dude, came through, became something more. He eventually turned into Galactus. Starting with the Big Bang and going from there and learning about the entire cosmos, the Infinity Stones, all magic, the gods, the cosmic abstracts, every bit and piece of it. And then you do that with Mark Waid's incredible knowledge of the Marvel Universe and Javier Rodriguez and Alvaro Lopez's just mind-bending art. Beautiful design work in the way that they level different panels and tell the story of all these characters, all these worlds, all these mythologies. It is just absolutely breathtaking. On top of all that, after you read the story and it ends at a certain point, we're going to continue that in the next issue, you get annotations to tell you where everything came from, all the references, and then you can go back and read the original comics. It is perfection.
Totally. So going from the incredible depth and history of the Marvel Universe to some new history being forged right now, this is Swordmaster #1. Obviously, we've gotten to know Swordmaster a little bit with the new Agents of Atlas and their War of the Realms tie-in series, which was a delight. But in Swordmaster #1, we get to zoom in on this character and how essentially he got his powers, what his whole deal is, and it is fascinating. We have a couple of stories in here that dig into this character in new ways. One that examines his entire backstory, his relationship with his father, which is really important, the magical elements that come into play because of the sword. It is so cool. There's great kaiju action. There's so much movement and just so much dynamism throughout it all. And then we have this other story written by Greg Pak that is just incredible in its own right because it's a team up with Mr. Shang-Chi.
Everybody's talking about Shang-Chi for some reason.
Come on.
He's great.
Yeah, Mr. Shang-Chi, the master of Kung Fu. There is so much special stuff happening with this team. You gotta pick up Swordmaster #1 because it, in its own right, is so special. It's great.
Yeah. Speaking of special, last book for us to talk about is Valkyrie Jane Foster #1. Oh boy. So this spins out of War of the Realms. We had War of the Realms Omega recently, which really set the stage for this storyline. But if you missed that, don't worry. Everything is in this issue. It follows Jane Foster as she is the lone Valkyrie, left to usher the worthy dead into the gates of Valhalla, as it were. It's a really fascinating take on what this means for Jane. And so it's her, she's got a cool new weapon, an amazing costume. You find her in life, what she's doing, her career, and how she's trying to hold on to that bit of humanity while still at the same time having almost god level powers, which she's already had god level powers when she was Thor. So there's all kinds of stuff swirling around. Beautiful, beautiful moments with a variety of Asgardians in here. It is a wonderful ride and a great start to a huge series. Now there's so much more for us to talk about, which we do on Marvel's The Pull List, the audio version. Get that wherever you get your audio. We'll be back with another episode next week. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Tucker.
This is Marvel,
your universe.